Have you ever been asked for help by an orca? No? That's odd. How about helping a leopard get its head out of a pot? Still no? You've missed out on a lot. In this video, I will share the most amazing situations where animals have asked humans for help. Be sure to watch the video until the end because you're in for the most touching and thrilling story of human-animal understanding you've ever heard. Enjoy watching. I want to start with a very unusual story. Not far from the coast of Jupiter, Florida, a diver and his team were going about their business when a lemon shark suddenly approached them. It persistently nudged one of the swimmers with its nose as if trying to convey something important. Agree, this doesn't happen often. Fortunately, this incredible moment was captured on camera by a friend who is a photographer. Josh Eccles, an experienced diver, was enjoying the warm ocean water when he noticed a lemon shark repeatedly swimming up to him, gently touching his wetsuit. The shark's behavior was strange, and Eccles realized something was wrong. Upon closer inspection, he noticed a hook stuck in the shark's belly. Understanding that the shark was seeking help, he decided to act. Frankly, I would never get close to a shark. Although lemon sharks don't usually attack humans, they can grow quite large and have very powerful jaws. Despite the risk, Eccles approached, grabbed the shark's snout with one hand, and removed the hook with the other. This brave act was caught on video and quickly went viral on YouTube, gaining over 500,000 views. But what amazed viewers the most was the shark's gratitude. The video shows the shark repeatedly returning to Eccles, swimming smoothly around him. Eccles noted that while sharks sometimes swim close, this one was especially insistent. "Every time she swam by, she nudged me harder," he said. He also mentioned that he was grateful for such a unique encounter with this marine creature. This incident showed that even large and powerful marine animals can need help and be grateful for it, I would say if I weren't afraid of sharks. Another amazing story about wonderful marine creatures happened off the Atlantic coast. A regular tourist relaxing on a yacht suddenly saw an orca clearly trying to get his attention. The animal was behaving unusually, as if asking for help. It was as if she was shouting, "Stop the yacht, help me!" Trusting his intuition, our hero decided to call rescuers. Apparently, I'm the only one afraid of large marine creatures. By the way, an interesting fact. Orcas have a high degree of social organization and complex communication skills. They live in matriarchal societies where older females play an important role in decision-making. Additionally, orcas are known for their intelligence, learning ability, and empathy. And this case perfectly confirms their ability to interact with the world around them. So, after calling the rescuers, it took a full 2 hours, and all this time the orca patiently waited for help, staying nearby. When the rescuers arrived, they found that the poor mother was tangled in a rope that threatened her life. The rescuers carefully cut the rope with scissors, freeing the animal. In gratitude, the orca made joyful sounds, expressing her appreciation for the rescue. At this moment, even I teared up. However, the story didn't end there. Suddenly, another pod of orcas appeared, and with their even movement, they began to accompany the rescuers, expressing their gratitude for saving their kin. This touching sight showed how deep the connections between animals can be and how they can express their feelings. The next situation is quite atypical but incredibly interesting, so I can't help but share it. Recently, scientists decided to conduct an experiment involving domestic goats. Research has shown that goats have impressive abilities to interact with humans, comparable to dogs and horses. Domestication changes all aspects of a wild animal's life, including its behavior. In unsolvable task experiments where an animal cannot retrieve a treat on its own, adult dogs seek eye contact with humans to attract attention. Horses behave similarly. Professor Alan McElligott from the University of London and his colleagues note that dogs and horses were domesticated to work closely with humans, which may explain their tendency to rely on mans. Since animals domesticated for agricultural purposes rarely undergo such studies, it was decided to conduct this experiment. The researchers contacted Buttercup's Sanctuary, where they selected 34 adult, healthy domestic goats with experience interacting with humans. Each animal was individually familiarized with the experimental setup, a pen and a plastic box fixed so that the goats couldn't open it, but could see the treat through transparent walls. Nearby stood a person who either looked at the goat or turned away from it. The scientists recorded the animal's behavior on video and analyzed it. The results showed that the goats were interested in the reward regardless of the experimenter's behavior. However, goats that the person faced more often and quickly tried to establish contact with them and held their gaze longer. The researchers believe this indicates the goat's ability to seek help from humans, similar to dogs and horses. Goats are much smarter than generally believed, the experiment's authors stated. I can't disagree with them. The next story clearly demonstrates why littering is bad. Discarded or unattended items can become traps for curious animals. This happened in Australia when a joey on a farm stuck its head in an iron watering can and got stuck. The farm owners rushed to help the poor animal. However, explaining their good intentions to the kangaroo was impossible, and the frightened animal started kicking. Two farmers decided to act quickly. They threw a rope over the watering can, trying to free the joey. One pulled the rope while the other held the tail, but their efforts were unsuccessful. The kangaroo continued to struggle, complicating the rescuers' task. By the way, did you know kangaroos have powerful hind legs and long tails that help them balance while jumping? These animals can reach speeds of up to 40 miles per hour over short distances and jump up to 27 feet in length. Sounds powerful, doesn't it? But this didn't stop the farmers. Our heroes decided to use metal scissors to cut the watering can. Fortunately, by then, the kangaroo had stopped resisting and decided to trust the humans. Carefully working with the scissors, the farmers managed to free the animal's head. The story ended happily. The freed joey hopped back into the wild. This incident on the farm reminded us of the importance of caring for the environment. The quick and decisive actions of the farmers not only saved the kangaroo's life, but also showed that taking care of nature starts with each of us. Yes, that includes you, dear subscriber. It's not just kangaroos that like to stick their heads where they don't belong. The next story vividly demonstrates that plastic is one of the main threats to wildlife, causing many animals to get into trouble. This happened in Nagpur, India, where a wolf got its head stuck in a plastic container while trying to get at some leftover food. A group of photographers went out to shoot nature by the lake when they accidentally spotted a wolf with its head stuck in a canister. The rescue operation revealed that this wolf belonged to an endangered species. The animal had tried to get at some leftover food, but ended up with its head stuck in the container. No one knows how long the poor wolf suffered from hunger and isolation, losing contact with its pack. He looked extremely emaciated and was in urgent need of help. The photographers immediately contacted the forestry department and tracked the poor creature for 2 hours, ensuring it didn't slip out of sight until the specialists arrived. The wolf's pack watched from a distance but couldn't help him. Witnesses reported that the container was a typical plastic food container that local residents often discard thoughtlessly. Research indicates that India is one of the leaders in plastic pollution, explaining the frequency of such incidents. When veterinarians managed to catch and calm the wolf, they carefully removed the container from its head. The wolf was suffering from a lack of air and overheating, so they doused him with cold water to lower his body temperature. After providing first aid, they released him back into the wild, where he immediately rejoined his pack. Fortunately, this story ended well. But just think, how many such situations have a tragic outcome? Like the previous case, this one again highlights the importance of responsible waste, disposal, and the need to protect wildlife. The next situation is very similar to the previous two, but it's more funny than tragic. Here's the story. In the Indian state of Rajasthan, an unusual incident caused a commotion among the locals. A leopard, thirsty for water, tried to drink from a metal pot left outside, but got his head stuck in it. The male leopard couldn't free himself and wandered helplessly around the village for 5 hours, disoriented. Scared locals, not knowing how to help the animal, kept their distance, taking photos and videos of the incident. The situation looked alarming as the leopard could be dangerous to those around him. Fortunately, wildlife protection specialists came to the rescue. They carefully injected the leopard with a tranquilizer to calm him down and ensure everyone's safety. Then, the rescuers cut the metal pot, freeing the poor animal's head. Luckily, the leopard wasn't injured. By the way, did you know that there are about 14,000 leopards in India, according to the latest data? However, in recent years, encounters between leopards and humans have increased due to the shrinking of their natural habitat and the growing human population. Poor creatures. But back to our story. After the tranquilizer wore off, the leopard went back to his usual activities, leaving behind only memories of his adventure. Thanks to the professional help of the specialists, this magnificent animal was saved. Who knows what could have happened to the big cat with such an unusual hat? The next situation also involves an animal sticking its head somewhere it shouldn't. This incident happened to a red cow whose head got stuck between 2 trees. How it happened is unknown, but the poor animal was trapped for a long time. The exhausted cow, drained of energy to struggle, stood helplessly between the trunks. Fortunately, a passing local resident couldn't remain indifferent to the animal's suffering. Initially, the man tried to break the thinner tree trunk, but this proved difficult. So he decided to use a chainsaw. Despite the roar of the saw, which frightened the cow, the man worked calmly and confidently. He tried to work quickly but carefully to avoid injuring the animal. After sawing more than half of the trunk, the man tried to break it again, but to no avail. He picked up the chainsaw again, and within moments, the trunk gave way and fell to the ground. The cow was free but exhausted and weakened. She didn't rush to run away. She needed time to recover. By the way, cows have excellent memories and can remember the faces of people who show them care. Research shows that cows can experience complex emotions, including gratitude and attachment. I believe this cow will remember her rescuer for the rest of her life. The man who decided to help the red cow showed true compassion and humanity. Animals, like people, need our protection and help, especially in times when they can't cope with difficulties on their own. And now, probably the most unusual, and at the same time the most touching story. On the shore of the Mediterranean Sea, a man encountered an octopus that was clearly not feeling comfortable. By the way, octopuses are true intellectuals among invertebrates. Their mental abilities are astonishing. They have excellent memories, can learn, distinguish geometric shapes, and even recognize specific people. Clearly, this octopus wasn't stuck by its own fault. Feeling sorry for the struggling mollusk, the man carried it closer to the ocean. But what happened next will shock you. The octopus, feeling relief, prepared to swim away, but before doing so, expressed its gratitude by gently touching the man. This incredible event illustrates how intelligent and sensitive these marine creatures are. Did you know that octopuses can use tools? For example, they collect empty coconut shells to later use them as shelters. This shows that they are quite similar to humans. The emotional side of these creatures is also impressive. In one well-known case, an octopus being fed in an aquarium began to recognize its feeder and show special joy at their appearance. Octopuses can express gratitude, friendliness, or even attachment. The story of the octopus and the man on the shore is a vivid example of how nature can amaze us with its wonders. Such contact with wildlife shows how deep and diverse the relationships between us, in humans and animals, can be. But even if you think a shark is behaving friendly, don't rush to extend a hand to help. It might just bite it off. And if you want to bite into, no, not someone's hand, but juicy steaks, I know what to offer you. We are looking for scriptwriters, voice actors, editors, and creative producers for our videos. Interested? Then follow the link in the description and submit your application. Thanks for watching.